The National Lotteries Commission is celebrating 20 years. 20 years of impact in changing and uplifting communities around the country. The NLC is committed to supporting sports and recreation to build a winning nation, funding 6.5 billion rands thus far to sports and recreation. National Lotteries Commission continues to be a catalyst for social upliftment.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching The Ladies Club. Thank you so much for joining us as we bring you another exciting episode of the leading women's sports talk show. My name is Valen Kirtley. So today we're going to be chatting about women who are breaking through the glass ceiling in track and field. Women all over the world are starting to own their voice and are hammering the glass ceiling, looking to find their place in male-dominated spaces. And that's not just on the track and in the field. Their rise to the top is an inspiration to many women who are still fighting their way up. These are the women that we like to bring you here on the show. You're welcome to join in the conversation. It's so easy on social media, all social media platforms. On Twitter, our handle is @sports@SABC. You can use our hashtag on Twitter, on Facebook, as well as on Instagram. It's #TheLadiesClub. So before we get going, we always like to begin our show with a quote to really set the tone. This week's quote is from three-time world champion Maria Matola. She says, "Believe in yourself and live life to the full." The former world and Olympic champion Matola is regarded as one of the greatest female 800-meter athletes in the history of the event. She burst onto the international stage back in 1993 after winning both the IAAF World Championships in Stuttgart and the IAAF World Indoor Championships in Toronto. She's actually the most successful athlete in the history of the world indoors, with 7 golds, 1 silver and a bronze. Her dominance in the 800 continued for over a decade before her retirement in 2008 after the Beijing Olympics. Matola then turned to football and played for Mzansi's Mamelodi Sundowns. She also captained the Mozambique female national team to the 2011 All-Africa Games in Maputo. So, on that note, seeing that we're focusing in on athletics, let me introduce you to our game changer today, because she's no stranger to being at the top place of the podium, and that is Tebogo Momatu. A very good morning. Welcome to the Ladies Club.
Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm fantastic, thank you. She's our national 100-meter champion, just returned from almost 3 months traveling around Europe, and there was only in one meet you didn't make the podium, and you were there for 3 months and you competed all over the place. You're in absolutely blinding form.
Yes. To be honest, I think this year is one of the seasons I can say, like, I feel like I'm on top of the world and everything is just in place for me this year. So yeah, I feel really great. And yeah, man, I'm in a happy space.
You have brought so much happiness to us, that's for sure. Yes. So I started off setting the tone for the show with the quote from Maria Matola, which is "Believe in yourself."
Yes.
And what do you have to say about that? And what do you have to say about Maria?
That's very true. You know, I think in the sports that we're in, if you don't believe in yourself, then nobody will believe in you. I think it's in life in general, with anything in general. So yes, Maria Matola, I've never met her before. I've always watched clips of her running. I mean, she's such an inspiration, I must say. So for me, yes, it's true. You need to believe in yourself, because really nobody will believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. And in the sport, you have to believe in yourself, because there's going to be the ups and downs. You know, sometimes you'll get injuries, and sometimes you'll tell the people saying like, "No, this girl's faster than you," or this and this. But you need to stay in your own lane and just believe in yourself. You just need that. That's all you need.
And what I like about the quote is not only does she say believe in yourself, she says live your life to the fullest.
Yes.
And you're just a bundle of happy energy.
Yes.
You're always smiling, always laughing.
Yes.
So I think that's something that you live by.
Yes. I mean, I've been always this girl growing up in high school, well, since primary and high school, coming to varsity. I'm a bubbly person. I just like being happy. You know, it's always nice when you're surrounded by people who are happy. I never want to be that person that when you leave the room and then suddenly like, oh, this girl, you know, you need to bring light. You know, bring light, be happy. You know, that's all of it. It's just about that. Yeah, you just need to be happy.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. She's our game changer today, and she's going to leave you with a big smile on your face. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll continue the conversation with her. But before we do that, let's bring you some news when it comes to women's sport. Banyana are simply unstoppable at the moment and in great form ahead of the Olympic qualifiers. They recently bagged their third consecutive COSAFA Women's Championship title following their 1-0 victory over Zambia in the final, which was played in Port Elizabeth. Banyana player Robin Moodley picked up the Player of the Match award, while the team's keeper Andile Stix Dlamini was the tournament's Golden Glove. So massive congratulations to Banyana and those standout performances from a number of the players in the team. Do stay with us. The Ladies Club is back after this. Welcome back. You're watching The Ladies Club. Remember, on social media, it's very easy to get involved in the conversation. Just use our hashtag The Ladies Club. On Twitter, the handle is @sports@SABC, @Belen @Lebongotswedi if you like to. So we're joined in studio by South African sprint champion Tebogo Mamatu. You met her in the first part of The Ladies Club. She's our game changer for today, 23 years young, and she is South Africa's new sprint sensation. She's steadily on her way to international glory. She was born in Soweto and went on to study sports science at the University of Pretoria. She burst onto the scene back in 2013 after winning the African Junior title in Redoute. She's here to share her story with us, and earlier this year she won the national 100-meter title in Johannesburg. Okay, so let's find out, where did this love of athletics actually come from?
To be honest, when I was still young,
Okay.
when I was in primary school, I didn't like athletics. I always had this coach or teacher. His name was Mr. Ngomo, and he would always be like, Tebogo, come, we need to go train, because I think he saw potential in me. I think he was also an athlete or something. So then he was like, let's go train all the time. And I was like, I don't think I want to do this. But then, so then that's when I started like thinking, okay. Then I got a bursary to go to Monument High School in Krugersdorp. And I think then I kind of made a decision of, okay, I'm probably good at this if I'm getting a bursary to go study at a good school. Yeah. So I took it serious from high school, and ever since then, yeah, that's when I started really being in love with it.
Okay, and was it always sprints? Was it always the 100 and 200?
Yes, in high school I did 1 and 2, and when I got to varsity, me and my coach decided, let me just specialize in the 100 meters, because I got lots of injuries, especially when I did 200. So every time I did the bend, I would always get injured. So we decided, let's just specialize on the 100 meters.
Yeah. Tell us what that decision that you made when you went to high school to say, you know what, I must have a little bit of a talent. Yes. Let me actually put my energy into this now. What was that point where you actually said, you know what, I'm putting my energy into this thing, but I love this thing. This is really nice.
To be honest, I won't lie to you. Even though in primary school, even though I didn't want to train, I actually enjoyed it. The fact that I could travel, the fact that I met new people, you know, you meet new people, different personalities. You like that. You're like, okay. Then now you travel, you see the world. So for me, I think when I started traveling a lot, that's when I was like, okay, I like this. I want to do this, you know, because at times I didn't go to like school functions where there was like Valentine's balls and all that, because I was either competing or I had to train. So I never really had a social life. So then all I could do was just compete or run or train. So then I was like, okay, I was okay with it. It fit with my personality either way. So yeah.
And then you made all your friends through your running and through traveling all over the world.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Okay, so tell us what happened then. So we finish high school and then we go on to varsity.
Yes. When I got to varsity, it got a bit hectic for me in terms of studies, in terms of I started getting injured a lot. I never understood in that period what was happening, you know, but I was getting injured. I never, you know, even training, I couldn't complete training sessions because I was always injured. So for me, it was difficult transitioning from high school to varsity. Yeah. But it kind of got better because I kind of started saying, you know what, I put a focus saying this is my career, so I need to kind of understand what's happening with my body so I can know I can perform in my optimal best. So thank God I have met people like my boyfriend, Thando Khoto, who actually who told me, he's like, you're always injured and you're always crying. You need to do something about it. Like, start going to physio if that's what you have to do. I started going to physio a lot. I'm working with great people right now that are helping me stay injury-free. So, but after that, I still ran, but I felt like I wasn't running at my optimal because I was always injured in my whole varsity career. Okay. But then it's just, I feel like now, this year was the greatest place I could ever be because I haven't been injured yet, this year. So everything is just great, yeah.
So what actually was the reason behind the injuries?
To be honest, it's all about like overuse, injuries. It was all like these small things that I never really like I said, treatment. I just had to get proper treatment, regular treatment. I was underestimating the whole physio and everything, I thought, no, man, because, in high school, I never got treatment, Yeah. I thought, no, man, I can do without this. Yes. But the older you get, or the training especially gets intense as well. So you do have to get regular treatment, and you have to make sure that your body, we're not cars, you get what I mean? So you have to, cars actually get service as well. So as people, we also need service. So you need to go and service your body and, just to make sure that you're great, yeah.
So, how did you maintain your motivation during that time? Because it's very difficult to be really somebody hard. That is used to competing, used to doing well, used to your body working so well, all of a sudden not doing what you needed to do.
Yeah, it was really difficult. That's why I think the most important thing is to be surrounded with people that believe in you and that support you. So I think for me, the greatest thing, I would put it to the support structure I had. People like my boyfriend, my family, people like my boyfriend's family, they've always been like there supporting us no matter what, Financially, they've been there. Through ups and downs, they've been there. So I think in that time, that's when because I knew, even through injuries, I still managed to always get personal bests. So I knew that if I can actually not get injured and train properly the whole year, I can drop great times. So yeah, I that was my motivation, knowing that I can still run PBs with all these injuries. So yeah.
And she has managed to stay injury-free in 2019, and that's what led to her becoming South Africa's second fastest woman ever over 100 meters. We're going to be chatting a little bit more about that. We've got to take a quick break. Just before we do, though, let's bring you some other news. This is related to boxing. Growing up in poverty, Nozipho Bell has had to fight to achieve all of her goals. She's preparing to defend her world title against Germany's Elina Thyssen on the 5th of October in Port Elizabeth. Knocking out the chains of patriarchy in South African boxing one round at a time, Bell encourages women to take up this sport that's been regarded as for men only. So she prepares for the fight. We wish her all the best of luck. Do stay with us. You're with the Ladies Club. Welcome back. You're watching the Ladies Club. We're going to continue our conversation with our game changer today, Tebogo Mamatu, who made history earlier on this year with an 11:04 second performance in Switzerland. She becomes the second fastest woman ever, and that 11:04 is actually faster than Yvette de Klerk's record that stood for over 28 years. But we'll get to that in just a short while, because we're going to focus in on our trailblazer, because it is all about track and field today. And our trailblazer is former sprinter Dikeledi Morophane. The Mamelodi-born former sprinter was one of South Africa's top female athletes during the early 2000s. Morophane was a late bloomer in athletics and only started competing when she was 20 years old. She won the national 100-meter title in 2001 and had a 100-meter PB of 11.38 seconds. Morophane blossomed, and in her first full season of competing at national senior level, she was rewarded with a place on the South African team for the All-Africa Games in South Africa, where she reached the semi-finals. As the Ladies Club, we salute this amazing trailblazer. I see as I read that you are nodding your head. Tell me who inspires you.
I'm inspired by a lot of women in my life. But when I can focus on track, Shelly-Ann, because I see myself a lot in her. She's short. She has a great start like I do as well. So yeah, she inspires me a lot. Yeah.
And she's got this bright, big, bubbly personality, just like you.
Yes.
So when are you going to follow suit with the hair?
Soon. I think Dumi needs to do my makeup and then my hair as well. I'm going to come with hair.
It seems to me, though, that you don't like to do a lot of, like, the makeup and the nails and all this kind of
Truth
stuff.
is, I wouldn't mind. But it's just, I feel like it's so time-consuming. I respect people that put makeup on and everything, you know. I feel like it's so time-consuming and, I can't do that.
You've got other things to do. You've got the track to be at, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So tell us about this 11:04 performance, because it was just out of this world in Switzerland.
Yes. I cannot believe I did that, even still today. I still can't believe I ran that great time. To be honest, I remember it was... So in the heat, I was put in the second heat with other people. And then I remember thinking, because all the fast people were in the first heat. So we were running the heat and the finals. And then I remember thinking, why am I in the second heat? I want to be in the first heat. And then, okay, the first heat ran. They ran really good times, like 11:10 with a headwind. And then I was like, okay. And then I ran 11:21 with the plus 2 point something. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, but it's okay. I'll be in the final.
But you won your heat.
Yes, I won my heat. So I was like, oh, I'll be in that final. That's all I wanted. So I'm glad. So and then I remember in the final, I was super amped. I had this energy. I don't know where I got it from, but I was just excited. And then I remember they were like, on your marks. I started breathing.
Which lane were you in?
I was in lane 6. I remember when my coach told me, you're in lane 6. I was like, why lane 6? I don't like lane 6. I like 3, I like 1, 3, 4, and 5. So the others are just like, no. So then when I was like in lane 6, I was like, oh, okay. And then they said on your marks. I started breathing. And then I went on your marks. And then I heard them saying set. And then as I went with the gun, when they shoot the gun, I came out of the blocks. Like I could tell like I was leading already. And then I thought in my mind I did a false start. But then I was like, no, there's no way this could be a false start. But I just kept running. And then I remember picking up my head and I was like, I'm still leading. What's going on? And I was like, okay. And then I started pushing. And when I got to the finish line, I could see the Chinese girl was next to me. But I was like, okay, let me dip. And then I started dipping. But I thought I was second. And then to only find out like I won. And the time, and I knew the time was great because when we stopped, it was 11:04. So I'm like, okay, if I was second, I probably also ran 11:0 something. And I was like, oh, I was happy in that moment. Like, I didn't care if I was second or whatever. I was just happy that, I ran 11:0 something. And then when my coach came to me and said to me, you won and you ran 11:04. And I was like, what? Me? I did not believe it. Even still today, I still don't believe it. It's like, yeah, but I was really happy. I was really happy.
Okay, so now that you've done the 11:04, right? I mean, I know you say that you don't believe it. Do you feel like a sub 11 is close?
Yes. I mean, to be honest, every year before like the season, everyone in our group, we need to have a meeting with our coach where we set goals. So a sub, for me this year, to be honest, sub 11 was the goal. And I wanted to be consistently running 11:2s, 11:1s. So I would say that I didn't really meet my goal yet, but I must say I'm happy because I ran 11:0. That's almost close to like a sub 11. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm really happy. I think I can run definitely a sub 11. It's possible.
Is it going to happen at Worlds?
I hope so. I pray. I pray so.
You've mentioned your boyfriend, and last year he was one of a handful of sprinters that managed to dip under 10 seconds.
Yes.
He's a class sprinter himself. You guys trained together, you studied together, both of you did sports science, so you're often in one another's company and in one another's space. How important is that for you, and how much of an impact has that actually made on your athletics career?
He is one of the most dedicated people I know. Ever since I started training with him, like I could see the hard work he puts in. I could see the way he's Even times when I don't feel like I want to train, but because I see he's so ready, I'm like, okay, I need to be ready as well now. I need to go to track and go gym. So for me, it really has helped me. Like I said, he's one of the most supportive people in my life. You need that support. Like times when you feel like you don't want to go training, you need people like him who are going to say, like, remember, you have goals, you know? I mean, it's always good. Obviously, you need to also have self-motivation, but it's always nice to know that there's someone around you who shares the same goals, same vision, same everything with you, you know? So it's very helpful, and for me, it's working. It's working. So yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your family's support too.
Yes.
Because before Thando, they were your foundation.
Definitely. I'm very grateful for my family because my mom especially, like, she was really supportive of me when I told her, like, I want to take this serious. She didn't say, no, I think you should focus on your studies to rather become an accountant, because I wanted to be an accountant. But she was with me and said to me, you know what, follow your dream. You want to be an athlete? I'll be there for you. You know, she's always been supportive for me, like, especially with my career. Like, even when I have to travel and everything, even though she does not have money at times, she'll be like, this last cent she has, she'll be like, okay, this is for you. Just go. If you need to be in athletics to compete, just go. So she always helped me, transporting me to like competitions. So yeah, my family have been supportive a lot.
If you could choose somebody to compete against, or maybe a couple of people,
Yes.
with you in lane 1, 3, 4, or 5
Yes.
at the Olympics, who would you really want to compete against and beat?
Definitely Shelly-Ann. Definitely Lane Thompson. Definitely Skippers. I'd like to compete against Skippers. Karina, yes. I always compete with her, but I love enjoying, like, competing with Karina. I really enjoy it. Who else? Yeah, these are the most main people, like, I'd like to see myself with. Yeah.
So what is the relationship like with you and Karina? One would assume that she's the South African record holder over 100 meters. You guys are always competing against one another, chasing one another's times and tails, that there would be a big rivalry.
No, it's not a rivalry. Okay, maybe competing, yes, when we're standing there. Obviously want to beat each other, but to be honest, she's more like a mentor. I appreciate her, you know, because you need, especially in this sport, sometimes you need someone who's going to tell you the real deal, like saying, this is how it is, this is what you need to do, this is when you have to put your foot down, you know. Sometimes you don't have people, like, who can, like, you just get in the deep end. You don't realize, like, oh, is this what's happening, you know? But for her, she's been very helpful. She's been very, like, giving advice. So I really appreciate her, yeah. No, but we don't have, like, a rivalry, like, no, no.
And what does Tebogo do to relax?
Me? Oh, okay, I do yoga. I really like yoga. Okay. I sleep a lot. I like sleeping a lot. And yeah, and I like chilling, just being at home, watching movies
And if your house was on fire and you had to leave home quickly and there were only 3 items you could save, what would you save?
3 items.
Only 3.
Yo. My phone. It would be my phone. Definitely my phone. I'm not materialistic, so just my phone.
And maybe Thando.
Thando as well. Thando's coming with. I make sure he's there. He's the first one out. Come on. Yes. No, my phone. Just my phone. My phone.
And if you have to think about where you'll be in 5 years' time, where do you see that?
I see myself being there, running in the Diamond Leagues, making finals at the World Champs and Olympics. Yes, so I see myself there.
What is your motto in life?
I live by, just always set goals. You know, my motto is you need to always wake up setting goals, even if it's small goals, because a dream without a goal is just a dream. So for me, it's just, to always live life, set goals, know what you want, and always dream big. Yeah.
Dream big and have a big smile on your face. Enjoy when you do it. You have been such a wonderful bundle of energy. Thank you. All the best of luck in the build-up to World Championships and crossing fingers for Tokyo next year.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's our game changer today. Tebogo Momatu, thank you so much for spending time with us. I know it was a half an hour well spent, and let's do it again next week. You are welcome to continue sending us your ideas of trailblazers and game changers that you'd like us to talk to here on the show. Remember that we're always on social media and you can always get hold of us, #The Ladies Club. Until we meet again, remember that greatness is never given, it's always earned. Bye-bye.